Hi and welcome to Indigo Starfire. My name is Bevin, and in this video I'm going to be looking into what are your person's thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. There are three groups to choose from. Group 1 is the Amethyst, along with the Aspen Spirit card, which says Courage. Group 2 is the Pyrite, along with the Eagle Spirit card, which says Freedom. And group 3 is the Aragonite, along with the Butterfly Spirit card, which says Transformation. So if you want to take a moment to center, focus on your breathing, and feel whichever group, maybe multiple groups, or perhaps all of the groups that you're most drawn to. I'll give you a minute to make your selection, and then we'll get right into it. And there are timestamps in the description box of the video for each group if you would like to jump ahead. And up next is a close-up photo of the cards and the crystals to help you better make your selection. Hi, Group 1. You chose the Amethyst, along with the Aspen Spirit card, which says Courage. So to channel some quick introductory energies as far as your person's thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. For some of you, this person may be working up the courage to pop the question, to ask you to move in with them, some kind of an apology that might be owed to transform a no contact situation into a place of, can we build, can we repair, can we grow from here? Their thoughts of you, their feelings for you, you feel like home, you feel like a safe space. They feel very empowered with all of this yellow solar plexus chakra energy right here. You make them feel almost brand new or revived, even in terms of these butterflies, your level of authenticity, the way you express yourself, maybe even things that you've talked about with one another, the way in which you view the world. This person, it gives them a sense of expansiveness. It's inspirational for them. You encourage them to really have the courage, you encourage them to have the courage to step into their authenticity, more of the truth of who they are as well, to kind of dig inside and find, who do I want to be in the world, rather than kind of who have I been up to this particular point in time. There's a feeling of the two of you really joining forces with one another, stepping into power couple energy. If they are at a distance from you, it's these kind of fantasies and these thoughts about being brave enough, courageous enough to kind of swoop back into your life and really sweep you off your feet, to really kind of take the time and take the steps that are necessary within themselves, to clear away any sort of doubts and hesitations, limits within that sort of prohibit them, or have in the past prohibited them from really embodying that full empowered energy. This is kind of, it's the energy also that you really balance them out, you inspire them, you bring a lot of joy and just a sense of possibility and potential to their world. If they are at a distance from you, no contact, they're realizing what they have now that it's gone, and they're definitely starting to appreciate you a lot more. You represent this light, or even this lighthouse or beacon for them, that is, it's calling them back home. If this is somebody that you're currently dealing with, there's this invigoration, there's this sense of kind of purpose-driven energy. Their thoughts are wanting to expand, wanting to create more of a solid understanding between the two of you, wanting to create more of that intimacy, to continue to take steps to build and develop the connection toward this energy of unity and unification, rather than sort of looking for the door out of this connection. They're almost kind of looking for these secret passageways in order to get in closer to your life, get in closer to your heart, and really sort of feeling very enlivened and very positive about the potential of, the relationship and the connection developing into something more in the future. So I'm going to get some tarot to dig a little bit deeper into this and see what are their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection right now. Okay, so we have the Queen of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. The World, which is fixed energy, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo, and Scorpio. The High Priestess, which is Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And Death, which is Scorpio. So this person definitely sees you as the one. You mean the world to them, regardless of what has happened, regardless of kind of if you're at a distance, you're estranged from one another, or if you are just starting to build a connection with one another. They see you as somebody that they want long-term potential with. You check off a lot of boxes for them that maybe nobody has done before. You have impacted them in a very profound way, deep at their core, deep at the heart level, to where there's almost kind of this excitement and yet nervousness, kind of the sense of, have I finally found what I'm looking for? There may have been kind of many near misses in this person's life, people that seemed to almost fit the bill, fit that quality of kind of what they were looking for, only to sort of have the rug be pulled out from under them, or things kind of presenting as too good to be true. And with this energy right here, how they're feeling about you, especially if it's somebody that you're not in no contact with, but it's still a current connection, the more they spend time with you, the more they get to know you, the more they kind of familiarize themselves with all these different facets of who you are, the more and more certain they become that they want to continue to take steps towards solidifying this situation, that this is what they have been seeking. This is kind of the love that they have been looking for, that they have searched the world metaphorically or literally, and they have come back home to this reality of having found what they were needing right in front of them. Maybe you have known each other for quite some time, and it is the energy of they're starting to develop these feelings, starting to allow themselves to really open up to the possibility and potential of kind of bringing an end, bringing a conclusion with the energy of death to one way in which the two of you have been defining yourselves to one another. Maybe this is a friend that has deeper feelings for you, or somebody that you have been dating for a period of time that is wanting to make things serious, make things exclusive, or for some of you kind of pop the question, this High Priestess, they're hiding things, but it's a very wonderful kind of secret that they have. A deep sense of magnetization that they have towards you. If you're at a distance from this person, they're wanting to kind of bridge that gap between the two of you. Maybe there's like literal geographic distance between you, and they're really giving a lot of thought to kind of how can we build a bridge, across the divide. What needs to happen? There's a willingness to almost kind of leave certain things behind. They'd give it all up for you. It's an energy of kind of being very motivated in order to find a way around these obstacles so that the two of you can continue to kind of expand and develop and really solidify the connection with one another. If that distance represents, no contact, like time and space, then again, it's kind of these secret plans that are being made behind closed doors, kind of maybe somebody who's putting on this mask or this impression that they're fine with the distance, they're fine with the disconnect, they're unbothered, they aren't thinking about you. But inside, it's a very different story. Inside, they're being drawn back towards you. They're, really kind of getting very creative in terms of trying to find a way back into your world, trying to come up with some sort of strategy as far as, making that reintroduction in a way that, to loop back into kind of this empowered energy with the solar plexus chakra and all these butterflies here, these blue butterflies. So that speaks about, like throat chakra energy, some kind of transformed and empowered communication that they are wanting to make, to break out, to kind of close out old cycles between the two of you, and to really, harness the power of a fresh start, a new beginning, going into kind of the conclusion of the world, looping into sort of that Fool energy, the leap of faith, a step outside of the comfort zone, a version of them that you have not dealt with up to this point in time. They're in the midst of sort of creating that within a cocoon of silence at this particular point in time. They may have their eye on you, kind of with the masked energy of death here, and even the high priestess. Some of them may have gotten tarot readings, or if they are into divination themselves, they definitely pulled some cards, used whatever divination tools they have, sort of like the energetic sleuthing and spy work. They may also be kind of watching you from fake profiles, watching you online, just kind of lurking around in the shadows, and just really, even if it's somebody that you're dealing with, it feels like they've done some divination on you. They're kind of watching from afar. They haven't revealed sort of the full scope and nature of what they feel for you. The sense of just empowerment and excitement about that you could really be the one, that this could be the situation that they have been looking for, or that they're very much interested in kind of taking things to the next level, or seeing if you can kind of move into that energy of phoenix from the ashes, rebuild from the mistakes of the past, spark the connection again, or to really just kind of fan the flames between the two of you so that you're able to become stronger together, more empowered, more kind of outward in terms of these expressions of love and feelings. If this has been held within, if it hasn't been revealed, this Queen of Wands also speaks to, wanting to make that very visible, wanting to make that known, a sense again of the world of kind of, that you tie together so many different kind of narratives and possibilities for them. You really help this person to kind of close out some lingering kind of chapters of disappointment, or things that they were really stuck on. They all just seem to kind of be burned away, and all they really see is you. They're very fixed and focused, very intent on kind of continuing to build and participate, or build that bridge back towards you, with sort of this intention of like, let's try again. Let's see if it's maybe not too little too late, despite what has happened, despite the time that may have gone by. Let's see if we can try again. So get a few oracle cards to dig a little bit deeper into this, about their thoughts and feelings about you. Okay, we have Skull of Flowers, creating through the ashes. And Joy, rejoicing in the present. Beautiful energies here, this creating through the ashes, that confirms that phoenix from the ashes, that Scorpio energy, wanting to revive this connection, or in some way, if you're still dealing with one another, there are a lot of thoughts about closing out the cycle that you are in, and breathing life into kind of an expansiveness, more of that yellow energy, that solar plexus chakra right here. You make this person feel very confident. You make them feel on top of the world, on their A game here. If this is somebody who has been kind of had a rough time sort of dealing with emotions or expressing emotions, been a little bit disconnected from their emotional body, a little sort of mistrusting of love, or hesitant to kind of, open up to partnership, or open up to intimacy. There's a sense of, you make them feel so comfortable and so seen for exactly who they are. There's no need to wear masks in this situation. And it's almost like they have found their forever person. They found their best friend. They have found that lighthouse, that light that they've been seeking. Through you, they see reflected so much potential within themselves, things they had really had a hard time kind of cultivating within, a sense of even just an electricity that flows between the two of you when you're interacting with one another, and it's this joy that kind of it carries them forth through their day, and through, even if there are days in between when you're interacting with one another, they still feel your energy with them. They still feel so uplifted, so encouraged, so positive about what the future may hold individually for themselves, and also in terms of what the future may hold between the two of you. You're their happy place. You're their safe space. You are that sense of home that they have been looking for. And so if you are at a distance from one another, there's an energy here of wanting to come back towards you in this courageous energy, in this empowered energy. If they were wishy-washy before, they're working on some certainty, so that they can kind of replace any tears or any kind of fragments that were just left unanswered between the two of you with clarity about how much you do mean to them, what this kind of distance or the silence, how that has been transmuted into a gift as opposed to, a circumstance of lamentation. They're wanting to really work on themselves, to strengthen that resolve, to seek and find barriers within themselves that maybe had kept them sort of hesitant to open up fully to you in the connection in the past, so that when they reemerge, it's with open arms. It's with a willingness to kind of, face the challenges within, challenges externally, and to really kind of push through, to be very determined in sort of crossing those hurdles and dipping over into a new start, into a new chapter. If it's somebody you're dealing with currently, this energy of rejoice and joy is, they feel so lucky to have found you. They feel so lucky that the two of you have crossed paths. It's the energy of like a destined connection. You are everything that they have been looking for and more. And it's something that it feels that it gets increasingly more difficult for them to sort of hold this in, hold those feelings back, or to just contain themselves when they're around you. You make them feel at once kind of youthful and as if they no longer need to sort of go out there and learn the hard way about what love is not, because right in front of them is kind of, it's the answer of what love is, what it is always meant to be, what it is supposed to feel like, no matter what stage you are at in your connection with one another. This is what they're focused on. This is what they're seeing and experiencing. This is what they've gotten a glimmer of. And it's an energy of celebration and wanting to continue to, build with you toward a very prosperous future. Any kind of difficulties that you have faced, any sort of hesitancy, there's an urge to just continue to be very loyal and to press through with you. A sense of them feeling that, they would stand by you through anything. There's nobody that they would want to kind of face life with other than you. They want you by their side. They can't even imagine themselves with anybody else. It's a very positive and uplifting energy here. And it almost feels to be something where you've really awakened some aspect of empowerment within this person, to where they feel courageous in a way that, as much as they might be a very confident person, you bring forth a different type of courage, where they're very confident as far as their feelings are concerned. If that was sort of a weakness of theirs, or that was an area where they didn't consider that a personal strength, they do feel strengthened. They feel strengthened by declarations and demonstrations of vulnerability with you up to this point in time. They feel strengthened by being their authentic self, by taking down these masks and really what they have shown you so far of who they are inside. It has left them with a feeling of warmth and goodness, rather than kind of feeling very exposed and sort of second guessing or in the energy of regret, almost like, oh, I shouldn't have shared that. I shouldn't have shown that part of myself. I shouldn't have revealed that. It was too much too soon. This instead is the energy of somebody who's the momentum is building, the trajectory is building, and they feel very good about where the connection is going, where it's heading. They want more. They want more revelation. They want more of these positive experiences with you. This is somebody who's really craving your time, craving your attention, but not in a codependent way. It's a healthy craving. It's like they found this nourishment. They found this otherness. They have found their person. And so, they're not wanting to delay or to sort of of hesitate or to dig their heels in. Maybe they were doing that in the past, but it feels like some kind of breakthrough has happened where, some cycle has come to an end. Something has ended within this person. You've managed to sort of get through their defenses, get through their walls. Even just you being you, they may have needed to, sort of take some time to vet this situation out. And as they're sitting in the energy right now, it's the energy of growth and empowerment, wanting more, wanting to build, wanting to do what it takes to sustain this connection, to feed this connection so that it thrives. Forward momentum here, growth here, and just a sense of celebration and again, excitement and joy that the two of you have found one another in this lifetime. Excitement for what's to come, or if it's someone at a distance from you in a no contact situation, they're leaning into the sense of optimism about let's try again, or even just kind of the optimism about getting ready to kind of come out of hiding, come out of the shadows, to at least put themselves out there, to replace sort of questions and doubt and unknowing with a sense of, I have to know, I'm readying myself to at least make that effort, make that communication, reveal myself, make my intentions or my presence in kind of this empowered energy known, so that we can see, is it still possible? Is it still viable between the two of us? Where do we go from here? So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self and see, what does this person want to tell you right now? Okay, and they say, I'm going to take action. I'm just planning the approach. So confirmation right there is somebody who's getting ready to accelerate this connection to the next level, make that bold move forward, make that declaration, maybe open up and confess feelings for the first time, or they're getting ready to, start that conversation about, where do we see ourselves a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, whatever that looks like. Or even somebody, if you're in no contact with them, they're in the planning stages, they're in the strategy stages of that reemergence into your life to see, is it too little too late, or is there still a possibility and a hope of rebuilding here? They also say, I want to reconcile with you. So confirmation, if you are in no contact with somebody, that they are gearing up to make their move towards you, to at least give it one last chance to see, maybe it'll work this time. There's a sense of they don't want to go through the rest of life not knowing, that there may be unanswered questions that they have left you with, a sense of that they may have just kind of run or ghosted you, or just kind of dropped off the face of the earth, in terms of, comparatively speaking, to how you were dealing with one another previously, having pulled back their energy or even sort of having gone within. That can also apply to somebody you're currently in a connection with, where they may have really tucked away into themselves, and that has left you with a sense of, okay, what's getting ready to happen? Are we getting ready to break up? Is this kind of the end of the road for us? Both of those situations, really, though, it applies to somebody who is instead kind of, they're building up that courage. They're mustering that courage within themselves to try to push this connection forward to the next level in whatever way that looks like, to either sort of return to you with more warmth, to return to you with some sort of offer of reconciliation, or to, present to you something that is kind of, it's big energy, it's major energy for them. Maybe this is just even confessing feelings for the first time, but it's a big step. They've been holding this within for quite some time and are kind of readying themselves to make that known, to speak that truth, open those floodgates so you can see what happens. They also say, I'm speaking through songs. So this is really giving the energy of somebody who is on cloud nine, thinking of you after they interact with you. There's a lot of telepathy, a lot of energetic connection between the two of you outside of kind of the bounds of how you are interacting in a 3D sense, and it feels to be not like sad love songs, but it's really kind of like sappy, romantic, uplifting songs, very kind of empowered, music that they might be listening to that is just sort of building their courage. It's building the momentum of, yes, I want this feeling, I want this sensation to be what is experienced with this person in a material world, in a material reality. If they are musically inclined, they may be writing a song for you, getting ready to, dedicate a song to you, something in that nature, kind of, open the door to those bigger conversations through music, maybe for some of you. And this can also really tie into just the sense of harmony that they feel with you, a sense of balance, a sense of you really kind of, you bring them up to this higher potential of what's possible in terms of feelings for another person, in terms of really kind of accessing them at the core level in a way that it feels like few people have been able to really reach them there. Your voice is music to their ears, your laughter is music to their ears. It's it's just, you help to really answer a lot of questions for them, and it's a very rare energy that they are cherishing this. They're wanting more of this. They're wanting to do what it takes to kind of accelerate the situation to the next level. They also say, I'm done running from this connection. So that can be a confirmation if you're in no contact with somebody, they're getting ready to circle back around to you, present you with some sort of offer, some sort of an invitation, something that they present that says, can I come home? I'm ready to love you. I'm ready to let you love me. More importantly, it feels like for a lot of you, this may have been somebody that their guards were up, their walls were up, and they just kind of pushed you away when it was time to sort of lean in deeper, when the momentum was building, and then it all just kind of fizzled out at the last minute, or very unexpectedly, without kind of knowing sort of what caused that. And it's an energy of the intimacy, the feelings. It triggered them into a place of disconnect, running from themselves, but they've been doing some work behind the scenes. They've really been kind of seeking and uncovering the why behind all of that. Why would they run from something that feels so good? Maybe even just needing that distance and space to be able to say, the warmth I have been seeking in terms of connection with another person, it exists here in this situation, and I've distanced myself for, kind of reasons unknown, or as a result of triggerings, but I'm ready to come back around. I'm ready to come home to this situation. And they also say, I've been receiving your telepathic messages. So confirmation of a lot of energetic communication between the two of you. Despite what has been spoken or not been spoken up to this point in time, there's almost like this energetic understanding between you. And they're wanting to do what it takes to bring this out of the ethers into material reality. They may be in the process of kind of scripting or rehearsing, planning kind of, when is it going to be time? Is tonight the night? Is today the day? Readying themselves for that point of revelation where they're going to open their heart to you. They're going to start that communication as far as, let's build upon this. Let's grow. Let's keep investing here. Or if it's someone that is, in no contact, it's the energy of kind of, they're sending these signals. They may be even sort of testing the water, energetically speaking, gauging, how receptive you are to them, how receptive you are to returning. Almost like they could even be praying that you're going to be open-minded about them when they come back around, and you may be picking up on that, energetically speaking, almost like reading their thoughts in a certain way. But no matter what kind of the dynamic is, there's a lot of communion back and forth, either with a past person or with a current person, that goes beyond words. And it has really helped sort of crystallize the reality that physical distance is an illusion, that there's a bond here, there's a current or a channel between the two of you from the heart space that time and distance is no match for. It's insignificant. It's always open and available in terms of that heart space between the two of you. And that's something that may have kind of, the intensity or the nature, the reality of that could have freaked them out before, but now they're in a place of really leaning into wanting to participate, wanting to build and grow and kind of bring that sense of harmony and communion at the energetic level out into the material world and reality. They also say, I've been telepathically communicating with you. So they've been receiving your messages, they've been sending messages back, and it's kind of right at the brink, right at the precipice of speaking those words outwardly, those blue butterflies, that throat chakra, taking this kind of energetic knowing and turning that into some kind of conversation. They're wanting to tell you more. They're wanting to open up to you. They're wanting to really bring this connection, the possibility of that, or the idea of reconciliation out of just this theoretical realm, out of this range of just kind of energetic dynamics back and forth. You're making them feel very empowered. The idea of becoming something more with you, it's filling them with a sense of confidence. And so all this telepathy can be really reflective of that you are on their thoughts heavily at this particular point in time, or can even just be that sort of prelude to what is spoken word or written communication, or just whatever that sort of looks like, that offer, that invitation of, let's explore this further, let's talk about feelings, let's talk about our heart, let's talk about kind of the elephant in the room, the unspoken between the two of us. Let's really start to plan out and carve out our path going forward in this situation. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got V, E, F, C, F, O, W, M, U, L, X, U, A, W, O, C, and H. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 2. You chose the Pyrite, along with the Eagle Spirit card, which says freedom. So just to channel some quick introductory energies off of this card, this is someone who is thinking very heavily about speaking some kind of truth. Ace of Swords energy, bringing clarity to you. The phrase "I miss you" is coming through, so maybe this is something where it's a no contact situation, someone at a distance from you. They are thinking about, in the planning stages, feeling very drawn and inclined to reach out to you, to deliver some kind of apology. Maybe this is something where you didn't even have like a fight or a difficult parting of the ways. It was just two people who kind of drifted apart from one another, and there's a curiosity here, wondering what's going on with you, what you've been up to, a sense of, through the distance, through the time which has separated you. They've seen a lot of signs and synchronicities pointing them back in your direction. They've always wondered what could have been. If things were different. Maybe this is a circumstance where it was kind of a failure to launch, or just different kind of obstacles in the material world may have really thwarted the possibilities between the two of you. Unactualized potential. This could also be somebody where, this was maybe a friend and there was just a lot of chemistry and the connection never had a chance to be explored or to be expressed openly. And yet they've thought about you. They've carried this kind of attraction or this curiosity or this sense of being very drawn to you for quite some time, and they may be nearing that brink of readiness to kind of come out from the distance, the space, come out of hiding, bring forth some kind of communication. some kind of higher level of communication or deeper truths than have been the case between the two of you up to this point in time. This also really brings forth the energy of that they feel free to be themselves. They feel seen in your presence. You really help to uplift them as well. If it's somebody you're in direct communication and contact with, there's a sense of kind of, you may have helped them through a very difficult point in their life, or you've really been there for them through thick and thin, and it's something that they deeply appreciate. You have endured, whereas other people may have given up on them very quickly, or certain things that had taken place in their life, and they really saw people's true colors, and what they saw with you is this genuine quality, this authenticity about you. Also, this very rare quality with this Pegasus down here at the corner of this card, to where if they had overlooked you before, sort of they had slept on this connection, or had just sort of dismiss this as, not necessarily a viable situation, or, somebody who, maybe this is kind of like that energy of a friend, where it was just sort of like, well, I don't want to complicate that dynamic between us, so I'm not going to open that door to love and partnership. This is something that there's kind of been a turning of the page there. There's a curiosity, sort of what would happen if we explored this. They've not been able to kind of outrun these feelings. They've not been able to kind of escape these little sort of cues and signposts that are pointing them in the direction of, this is worth exploring further. This is worth, increasing the level of contact, increasing the level of getting to know one another, expanding beyond the territory of what your interactions have been with one another up to this particular point in time. They see you as a very unique person. You stand in your individuality, and this is something where they feel very safe to be themselves as well, which may be something that has kind of, it struck them as sort of curious, or it's very perplexing. They may have kind of held back, almost, what's the catch? Or they questioned if you were the genuine article, if you were really, who you presented to be, if you're too good to be true. And there's a sense of kind of looking at this from a higher vantage point here. So maybe kind of like watching from afar, researching you, kind of like seeing you move and maneuver in a variety of situations. So this definitely could be like a work connection, for example, and they've seen you kind of in how you handle conflict, how you are on your good days, how you are when you aren't feeling well. They've needed to kind of really gauge you and the circumstances in a variety of conditions. There's a sense too as well that, again, you've really stuck with them through thick and thin, kind of when they're feeling their best and when they're not really feeling their best. You've been very consistent in your dealings with them. They appreciate the fact that you honor their space, their need for space, or even some kind of unconscious cue or signal or a conversation which took place where maybe they needed to put the brakes on in the situation, back away, they were distracted or busy, whatever that looks like, where they even got scared and just kind of, ran from you, sort of pulled back their energy or disconnected, kind of cut off the communication for a period of time. And there's a sense of respect that you didn't chase them, that a lot of people may have, tried to make them feel guilty or just been very kind of suffocating with their energy. But there's a sense here that you have really honored that need for space. They see you as somebody who stands in your authenticity. You honor that kind of individuality within yourself. There's the communion between the two of you, and then you've got your own life. You've got your own thing going on. And you really allow this person to do the same, to have those times of togetherness. But there's security within self here that really sort of lends to you trusting kind of what they're doing on their own, kind of allowing that space for them to be themselves outside of just needing to be very entangled and enmeshed and in one another's business and lives just constantly. And this is something which, it's one of the qualities that they deeply appreciate about you. This may be something that's kind of rare for them as far as dealings and interactions with other people, other relationships that they've had, but it's something that is encouraging them to want to explore this connection further, to kind of come in closer to this connection and to open those lines of communication and dealings with one another to the next level in some way. So I'm going to get some tarot and dig a little bit deeper into their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. Okay, so we have Judgment, which is Scorpio. The Moon, which is Pisces and Cancer. The Fool, which is Aries. And the Four of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. So with this imagery here, this man sitting on this treasure chest, it again reinforces that idea of they may have slept on the connection or kind of overlooked the potential here. They're sitting on some kind of truth or revelation that they want to bring forth. And it feels like they're almost kind of waiting for the right opportunity to present something. They may have a lot deeper feelings for you than they have let on, or they see the possibility of something very profound that could develop between the two of you. You have a lot of these qualities of the type of person that they would want to combine their life with. There's a sense of seeing you as a very stable and solid person in your own kind of identity and independence, which it feels like it's very refreshing, because this may be somebody that they've had to work very hard to kind of maintain their own identity in other partnerships, where there was also almost kind of a sense of them having lost themselves in partnerships before, or they've attracted a lot of codependent people, a lot of needy people into their life. And so you kind of represent something different, which may be why they sort of overlooked you in the situation before, because you weren't their usual type and expectation. And yet it's something that they almost are kind of circling back around to the idea of this connection, some treasure that they have overlooked. That they're kind of figuring out a way of sort of how to approach this, how to broach this subject, how to kind of open that box and explore between the two of you what might happen if you take things further. If it's somebody that you're in no contact with, kind of what would happen if I knocked on that door? Do we still have what it takes to build the 10 of Pentacles? Is there still love here? Is there something still viable here? Or, if it was something that never really got off the ground, is this something that, we are both kind of interested in investing in and curious in? Maybe it was just a lot of palpable chemistry before, and there's an energy of sort of like, can this ground down into material reality? But then there's also a bit of hesitation and uncertainty about, if I open that door, if I open that box, if I look in further, is there just going to be like a single pentacle, a seed of potential, and then nothing more? Then it becomes nothing more. So they're a bit hesitant, still just kind of watching and observing here. Interestingly, we have these hawks also, to tie in, hawks or eagles, tie into the idea of the eagle spirit here in this oracle card. And it's bringing forth the idea of that they're watching you like a hawk. They're just watching you in your element. They're very fascinated by you, kind of studying you, learning you, but not in a manipulative sense, just in kind of, you strike them as this very unique creature. You're the type of person that they are not used to dealing with, romantically speaking. Maybe just in general, they see you as a very authentic person that is very refreshing compared to people that have been in their lives before. There's just something about you that you really march to the beat of your own drum on unapologetically. They see you as somebody who really knows themselves, and you really, you follow your intuition. You're willing to take risks. You're willing to take leaps of faith. You're willing to kind of express yourself and honor your personal truth. You don't sit in an energy of needing external validation. You're very self-sustaining in that capacity. You really know who you are, and it's something that it's caught this person's attention, or it's something that if this is like someone from the past that it never really got off the ground, they always have kind of taken note of that special something within you that is just different from other people. And this may be something that has kind of drawn them back around to see, are you still as carefree as you used to be? Sort of where did life take you with that kind of willingness to sort of follow that intuition and kind of go where you're being led, to really just trust in the journey. This may be something as well with the energy of kind of the Fool here, that previously or at like a prior time in your cycle with one another, there may have been third-party situations involved, so it may have been something where it wasn't practical for the two of you to get involved with one another, and there's almost this curiosity. Maybe they've heard you're single now, you've disconnected from a previous situation, or they have disconnected, and there's almost this wanting to come back around and see, Are you available? Can we try this out? Can we explore this palpable chemistry that might have existed between the two of us at one point in time? The moon really speaks to this energy of mystery. They sense that there's a lot more to you than meets the eye. As much as you are very authentic, you are who you say you are, that there's still, again, this kind of this need to sort of vet the situation out. This feels to stem from some sort of insecurity on their part. It has nothing to do with you. It's almost kind of like the more they watch you from sort of this shadowy or cloaked energy, sort of like the eagle eye perspective on things, watching from a distance without really kind of revealing the true nature of their intentions or that full truth yet. You keep kind of passing tests within them. You keep being very successful in sort of just being yourself, and this really being increasingly sufficient to prove to them that this is worth investing in further. This is worth exploring. This is different from the types of people they're used to dealing with. In Judgment, again, this idea of you march to the beat of your own drum with these kind of musical notes here. You're very unapologetic in who you are. They see you as somebody who really, you bring a lot of balance into the world around you. You have a very good balance between, again, kind of who you are as an individual and ways in which you're able to co-create with others. This may be something where you are artistically inclined, you do something creative for a living, or you've got some kind of talent, skill, or ability, maybe having to do with music for some of you, and they've taken note of that. They've watched that. They may have really witness this sort of career, this endeavor blossom, and you really have their attention fixed. There's a sense of they want to, create harmony out of this situation, that they may feel very enchanted by you in a sense. This is almost kind of like the Pied Piper energy, where this may have been the case in the past of kind of, people that sang this song or really sort of entranced this person or presented a particular image, and then kind of they were led astray, sort of just blindly following along with kind of this this melody that other people had sort of presented. And so it's kind of like once bitten, twice shy energy, where you carry these energies of enchantment, and yet they are increasingly becoming certain that, you're not trying to manipulate them. You're not trying to manipulate their emotions, that it's just, you really are poetry in motion. You really are this very unique and rare individual, who has chosen and kind of carved out a very unique path for yourself, or just something about kind of like who you are and how you kind of flow in the energies of giving and receiving, or back, even to that sense of you allow this person to really have their space and their individuality, and you're very comfortable and very self-sustaining in your own identity. This is something that it feels like it's very unique for them. It's almost, it's entrancing them in kind of this idea and kind of going with the flow of that. There's an urge to sort of co-create with you, to bring some sort of truth out into the open, to kind of begin those lines of conversation to see sort of what can happen from here. There's a sense of feeling that the two of you really complement one another very well, in terms of, again, like recognizing and understanding sort of the need for each person's own identity, and then kind of like a jointness, like a unity between the two of you, to where they're wanting to really kind of work with you, work with these energies, resurrect this connection, kind of take things to the next level. It's almost like the more that they've been observing you, they keep getting this epiphany and aha moment after epiphany and aha moment that is just sort of drawing them in closer to you. So I'm going to get some oracle cards to clarify a little bit more about their thoughts and feelings about you. Okay, we have joy, rejoicing in the present, and eternal love. Love is love is love, and it transcends physical death. So they could really be looking at you as a soulmate, as something very unique, this treasured connection that they are, or treasured potential even, that they are They're not wanting to let more time go by without kind of exploring deeper possibilities here. They're leaning into the energy of kind of with this joy and rejoicing of kind of shedding hesitation, shedding skepticism. You're drawing them in closer simply by you being you. If this is somebody that is from the past, or like a no contact situation, that eternal love can really speak to, they've always remained curious. They may have always kind of kept an eye on you even. They've always kind of checked in or been very sort of curious what would happen. Maybe it wasn't the right time for the two of you before. There were other circumstances in the way. And there's this energy of, it would make me so happy if maybe this time around it worked. Maybe this is our season. Maybe this is the time. Maybe the other obstacles, have been shed, or we're both in a place of our lives where we're willing to kind of push through those boundaries and to really explore what more might develop here in this situation. You definitely have captured their heart. You've captivated them. But it feels to be just also somebody who, this energy is just very, it's a little bit standoffish. It's like they don't want to believe that you are what you seem. They keep needing to kind of like watch and examine, and it just draws them in closer. It's almost like a series of tests, one after the other, that you keep passing with flying colors. And yet they're very resistant to kind of let go of something within them, almost like a dormancy or a pessimism in the emotional space, to allow themselves to just embrace the fullness of, who you are, and therefore what can be experienced with a person such as you in a loving connection. They see you in a very positive light. If it's somebody that you're dealing with currently in some capacity, they're very happy with the times that you spend with one another. They're very inspired by you. They see you as a very intelligent person, a very upbeat person, a person of a lot of integrity. You bring a lot of happiness and joy to their life. You've been a lighthouse during dark times. You've really been there for them through thick and thin. And these are very good qualities in their book, but they feel to be somebody that's still kind of, they're dealing with a bit of internal resistance. They have a lot of love to give. They have a lot that they want to say. And it's almost just kind of, creating that space or kind of needing to descend from more of this lofty position or sort of being a bit standoffish as far as romance and partnership is concerned, to really kind of experience firsthand what they're seeing and sensing as far as, the potential of this situation. That the more they kind of question and need to examine, the more they keep coming back around to the same conclusion that you are a very positive influence and factor in their life, that these feelings are not something to be feared, but are instead something to be embraced and savored. That there's a lot of potential in this situation to build into something very fulfilling for the two of you, but it's almost just kind of like they're taking their time, sort of pushing against the currents of the wind, making their way down to you and into this heart space where there's some kind of truth or revelation that wants to be spoken. So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self and see, what does this person want you to know right now? And they say, no one can change my love for you. So definitely if you're in no contact with somebody, or it's somebody from your past, they are still holding all of this untapped potential and these feelings for you. That idea of the eternal love. This also ties into somebody who, their inner critic, the skeptical part of them, might be sort of second guessing or questioning the connection, trying to find the catch in the situation, or sort of catch you behind your mask and trying to sort of reveal that there's some inauthenticity to who you present to be on the outside. And they keep being foiled in that capacity. They keep being brought back around to the truth. That the vibration you're emitting, what you're presenting, that it is authentic, that it is real. They can't successfully extinguish these feelings for you. It's almost in a way that you in many ways are kind of too perfect for them. You match too perfectly this ideal sort of frequency and these qualities of who they've been looking for in a partner, that it's disbelief that somebody like you could exist, or that you come into their life, or even that they kind of slept on the connection, or missed you the first time around. They also say my nerves have been getting the best of me. So that confirms this kind of inner critic, this skeptic, that they just can't let themselves sort of open up fully and surrender to these feelings at this particular point in time. A sense of kind of somebody who's very guarded, very sort of hesitant to open up, either due to sort of the nature and gravity, this idea of like eternal love, and these glimpses or these glimmers that they've gotten about what's possible between the two of you in the future, if they were to open up and co-create with you. That may be very daunting, very overwhelming for them. They may have been somebody who's kind of been operating in sort of survival mode for quite some time, a bit distanced, a bit removed from like deep, intimate partnership and connection with other people. That the idea of finally having found somebody that they could build in a positive way with, it's drawing them close, but at the same time they're kind of putting on the brakes or backing up a bit, almost like not wanting to open up to the possibility of getting hurt again as far as love is concerned. They also say, I really hate not communicating as much as I want to. So if there's distance between you and this person, maybe time and distance, if it's no contact, or somebody you're currently dealing with who they've gone kind of cold on the connection, they're putting up their walls and barriers, or it's just kind of a difficult stage or a phase of getting them to open up and sort of dive deeper into the connection. Whatever they're presenting on the outside, this is kind of just a mask for a deeper truth that they're hiding, that there is actually a lot of potential. It's like 10 of Pentacles that they're sitting on. You could be the one. This might be something where this could turn into a long-term partnership, a lasting partnership. This may be something worth investing in, but they want to be sure. And so it may be something even with this idea of, they hate not communicating as much as they really want to be communicating. This could be part of that phase of like testing the situation. How do you respond when you're not getting all of them, when they're sort of pulling back or holding back their energy? What are you going to do? Are you pushing them? Are you sort of chasing after them? Do you just sort of allow them that space? Do you allow them that sovereignty? Do you sort of go with the flow of the connection? Again, each of these sort of little tests, consciously or unconsciously, that they're presenting, you keep passing these tests, and it's almost like somebody who asks for a sign or asks for a confirmation, and that's provided, and they're like, well, I need another one. I need another sign. I need another confirmation. And it just keeps snowballing from there, and that feels to be where this person's at. It's almost like they have this. They have something they want to say, they have something they want to express, but they're almost kind of trying to make themselves too certain of that, or leaning into that polarity of fear before they just sort of open up fully. They also say, I am not hiding the connection for the wrong reasons. So again, this ties into something within, some kind of like fear of intimacy, a fear of not wanting to, get hurt, or a fear of getting hurt rather, to where they're hiding the truth of their feelings for you. They're hiding this kind of spark, this joy, this uplifting quality that they feel in this situation. They almost don't want you to see this sort of scared part of them. They don't want you to see this wounded part of them. They're wanting to sort of open up into this situation from an empowered stance. They see you as a light. They're wanting to come to you in this energy of light within themselves, but all of this fear and this hesitation, it represents a personal darkness within. And so it's almost like they're tucking away and hiding from being compelled over and over again to the reality that this situation is worth investing in. They also say, it was you, it was always you. So again, there are feelings within that you may be the one. This may be something that is the love that they have been looking for, someone that they thought didn't exist, kind of has all the makings of a very beautiful or ideal partnership, and yet they are second guessing that. The universe has provided some kind of blessing or gift in the form of you and the possibilities here, and they're making matters more difficult than they need to be. This can also tie into the idea of someone you're in separation from, or even that unactual unrealized potential of someone from the past. They've never forgotten about you. They keep thinking about you. There's this curiosity and, sort of like wishing they could turn back time, or this may be something that it's kind of a regret that they let this slip through their fingers, or that they didn't fight harder for the connection, or didn't express to you how they felt when they had the opportunity in the past. They also say, I do want to make things right with you. Give me that opportunity. So someone from the past wants to cycle back around. They want to reach out. They want to open those lines of communication, make amends if necessary. And there's a hopefulness that you will be receptive to them. If this is somebody currently you're dealing with, they're not wanting to sit in this energy of just skepticism and questioning forever. The more they have these conscious or unconscious tests and you keep passing them, you keep proving to be who you say you are, you keep being very consistent in kind of your willingness to ebb and flow with the situation, it's bringing them nearer and nearer to the reality that they can't keep on in this testing phase. They can't keep sitting on all that potential, all that untapped potential, all of these kind of like feelings that they're holding inside. And so kind of each time they're sort of pulling away and then moving closer to you, it's like they're gradually making that descent to the point of contact where whatever they're wanting to speak or talk about, there's an intention of bringing that forth, but it's almost just like they're in the energy of kind of cold feet right now. And yet, as much as they sort of pull back or question, they're still very sort of intrigued. They're curious. They are fixated on you. They got their eyes on you. They're watching you like a hawk, and kind of just fascinated, increasingly just pleased with what it is that they see. And this is bringing them to more of a place of confidence to be able to open up to you. So I'm going to get some initials. This can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, so we've got X, J, V, L, M, I, C, L, S, Y, Q, U, Z, D, M, N, A, U, E, P, and R. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well. Hi, Group 3. You chose the Aragonite, along with the Butterfly Spirit card, which says Transformation. So to channel some quick introductory energies from the energies of this card about this person's thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. They are ready to bring this situation up to the next level. You have awakened something within the heart space with kind of this energy that's reminiscent of almost kind of the goddess Venus rising from the ocean with this butterfly woman kind of coming out of this this shell here. something where you've revived their heart, you've awakened a higher potential of what they have understood love and feelings of romance and possibility and potential could be. Up to this point in time, there's an urge to sort of transform and redefine how you move with one another, how you speak about matters of the heart, matters of emotions, some kind of like pearl of wisdom here that they are wanting to give to you. Maybe this is telling you that they love you, that they are falling in love with you, that they have loved you for quite some time. They have deeper feelings and they have revealed that they're ready to, work to reconcile. This can be some kind of like peace offering, olive branch, maybe some kind of gift that they are wanting to give to you. There's a sense of they see you as, a gift in their life. They feel you as a very warm and genuine and loving presence. You have really helped to transform their world in a very beautiful way. No matter how long or short of a time you have known one another, whatever the nature of your dynamic with one another has been up to this point in time, they have been changed for the better through knowing you, through interacting with you, through experiencing and sort of seeing the world through your eyes. You've really helped them to believe in sort of the healing and transformative power of love. It's maybe something that just through what they're building and experiencing with you, it's helped to really kind of quell and silence a lot of heartbreak that they may have been holding within, a lot of doubt or lack within themselves. There's a sense here of that they're ready to love again, so maybe returning from the past, or you're kind of bringing them to the brink, this kind of like fool energy, right at the edge, right at the precipice of opening up their heart fully to you, revealing something to you, that you've transformed their ideas of what intimacy between two people could be like, what, feelings of romance could be like, what a relationship could be like, no matter what that looks like for the two of you at this particular point in time. You help them to feel very safe and very seen and very comfortable with who they are. And there's an urge to really accelerate and take things to the next level, to redefine the situation between the two of you, or to show you a part of them that they have not revealed yet. If this is someone who's been very kind of closed off and guarded, sort of in their shell, holding back from you, there's an energy of wanting to reveal a side or a face of them that has not been explored in this connection yet, a tenderness that they hold within. You have successfully kind of bypassed a lot of the guardedness within. You've somehow cracked open their heart, despite their best efforts to kind of keep that closed and keep that tucked away. They find you there. They find you within the heart space. You help them find themselves within the heart space. And there's this energy of wanting to express that to you, to show more tenderness to you, to invite you in fully, rather than have it just be sort of these momentary or accidental kind of slips where all of a sudden they're feeling you in the heart space. All of a sudden there's this closeness between the two of you, followed by kind of this guardedness or this pulling back. You're encouraging them to sort of keep that channel open between the two of you. There's an urge to have these heart-to-heart discussions with one another, to be very vulnerable and to expose a lot of this tenderness within. They may also see you as their counterpart, as kind of the one who complements them so beautifully, the one who has been able to kind of bring them back to life inside in a way that they thought was not possible, or that they never imagined, they never contemplated. As much as they may have felt very okay with their life, it's like you've accelerated this to the next level in a very positive way. There's an excitement here, and yet it's a tempered energy to where they're not, this isn't like a toxic attraction. It's healthy partnership. It's healthy love, something that they don't have much experience with, or they haven't experienced ever before, or it's been a long time since they had this feeling of purity and possibility with another person. So they see you in a very favorable light. There's an urge to protect you, to protect this connection. This may be something where they've been holding back up to this point in time due to sort of a fear within themselves, or an understanding of kind of the hurt or wounds that hadn't quite healed within, that they were not wanting to sort of hold you accountable for, and so they may have been sort of withdrawing or holding back a bit if there were external circumstances that were kind of a factor in the two of you furthering this situation with one another. There was a sense of almost not wanting to break your heart, not wanting to get your hopes up, only to not be able to deliver fully or consistently, but they feel to be at a point of transcending all of that, transcending the doubt, finding a way beyond obstacles, or maybe they've cleared a lot of things out in their world and in their reality, and they're ready to show you their heart. They're ready to let you in. So I'm going to get some tarot to dig a little bit deeper into this about their thoughts and feelings about you and the connection. Okay, we have Judgment, which is Scorpio. Seven of Pentacles, which is Earth energy, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. Ten of Cups, which is water energy, Pisces, Cancer, and Scorpio. And the Queen of Wands, which is fire energy, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So they are very attracted to you. They feel a lot of passion towards you. They feel very drawn towards you and very drawn to the idea of becoming something more to you. The two of you becoming something more with one another, whether this with the Judgment card is kind of resurfacing from the past to open up to the possibility and potential difficulties between the two of you having crystallized into these pearls of wisdom, where there's a motivation to do better than they had the first time around, because now they are armed with the wisdom and knowledge that they may have been lacking before, about matters of the heart, or about how to approach love, or even some barriers within themselves or from their own kind of personal history that had made them difficult to love, or they'd made it very difficult for them to receive love. Seven of Pentacles can talk about, biding their time. They've been considering this for quite some time, making their move back around to you. Or if this is somebody that you're currently dealing with, this has been in the works for quite some time. It's almost through this energy of patience that you've managed to kind of move through their barriers, move through their guardedness. They may almost be kind of waiting for the right opportunity. A sense of wanting to make it very special, not just kind of a casual conversation or an aside, but something where they're kind of planning the right moment. They're wanting this to be very sacred, taking this to the next level, expressing something to you, honoring you in kind of the beautiful energy that they see you in, that you represent for them. There's a sense here of the Ten of Cups with, this emotional fulfillment. You meet their emotional needs so beautifully, and they are wanting to reciprocate that with you, to give more to you emotionally and in terms of tenderness than they have up to this point in time. This Queen of Wands and Judgment also speaks to the energy of you've brought this person back to life, or you've helped to change their ideas of what love and connection and intimacy between two people could be like, what that could feel like, what that experience could do to them, or could really bring forth from inside. It's this wave of tenderness that they may have been kind of overwhelmed or frightened of in the past, but they're going with the flow now. They're following this almost just unconscious pull of their heart in your direction. They're done fighting these feelings. They're done fighting this, and it just feels like they're waiting for the right time to kind of make that next movement towards you, waiting for that right special time to express these truths, express the sense that you fulfill them in so many ways, that it's such a nourishing connection that they experience with you, or that they had in the past, and an urge to continue to invest more in this, to spend more time to one another, with one another, to get closer to one another, to redefine the nature of your partnership with one another. If you're friends, they want to take this to the next level. If you're already seeing one another, there's the energy of wanting to kind of move closer, maybe move in with one another, become exclusive. If it's somebody that's at a distance or like a no contact situation, there's the energy of wanting to move closer to that place of rebuilding or starting to have those discussions about sort of where do we go from here, long-term plans that they may want to start laying in place with you, or at least opening the door to allow you to access that part of them to where in the time and manner that it's appropriate, kind of where they'd been holding back, there's now a willingness to allow this situation to evolve very organically. You've crossed some kind of divide within this person, and it feels like very without meaning to this has happened. You just being you has kind of, it's bypassed all of this guardedness within. Whatever that has looked like up to this particular point in time, what they have found within is kind of this truth, and the truth of what they hold within in their heart space is this deep kind of admiration and the sense of feeling very seen and very safe with you. Something about your energy that they find very healing and very nourishing, and there's an interest here in reciprocating that and having this be kind of more of an equal give and take with one another, continuing to build toward more of that emotional contentment, more of that stability, more of that togetherness, and a sense of really taking action steps to kind of pull down out of sort of the idealistic energy of the Ten of Cups, sort of this wish fulfillment off in the horizon. They're in the process of kind of doing their part, sort of setting the stage for something to where there's a roadmap to how do we get to this horizon. Let's start talking about that. What's that going to look like? What do we need to build or do or kind of remove or move beyond in order to crystallize that potential into something in the real world? What do we need to do to invest in this situation more in order to be able to, yield that harvest eventually between the two of us of this wish fulfillment and contentment in a material sense? So I'm going to get some oracle cards to dig a little bit deeper into this. Okay, we have the underworld, where all things pause and begin again. And hearth, happiness in our hearts and homes. So this energy of the roaring fireplace and the hearth, you have really ignited something within. You've activated something within this person in a very positive way. Feelings that they have for you that you may have thought didn't exist or that they were in denial about. They're focusing so much attention and so much of a sense of surrender upon these things that those embers of possibility are roaring to life. There's a desire to breathe life into the next layer or stage of this connection, to create a home with you, to create that idea of happiness and wish fulfillment, whatever that looks like in the material world, to invite you into that kind of inner sanctum within, and to accept that invitation that you have extended to really kind of enter that territory within you as well. This energy of the underworld is kind of where they've been in their shell, where they've been kind of holding back. They've been doing some soul searching, and they're wanting to emerge. They're wanting to emerge with kind of this sweetness to invest in the situation with you. They see you as a nourishment. You've been with them through some very dark times, and it feels like even outwardly, if there weren't dark times, it's the darkness of them being a little bit kind of closed off. Or when the two of you encountered one another, this may have been somebody that had kind of been hardened in their heart as far as love is concerned. They may have been kind of pessimistic. They'd been let down. They had just kind of thought they had seen and experienced all of what love could be, what that was like, what it should feel like. And you've turned things up a notch. There's like a whole other level here, but it's not toxic. It's something which is actually very kind of like wholesome and positive, and there's a lot of passion with this, in a sense of kind of like yield into the long term that they see here. This isn't just where it's going to be a night of passion and then you never talk with one another again. This is like long-term energy. This is like multiple seeds of potential that they are wanting to explore with you, wanting to invest with you. They are seeing you and the possibilities in this situation as something that could last well into the future, that this is a situation that has the ability to kind of thrive and grow and be very fulfilling to the two of you through the seasons to come. This idea of the underworld can also speak about, with judgment here, and you've brought them back to life. You've resurrected this person. You've resurrected the fire within their heart, not in like a codependent way, not in an obsessive way, but in a way that they feel alive for the first time in a very long time. They feel very almost able to self-sustain, and yet sustained by you, by the nature of your interactions with one another. There's an energy here as well of if this is a no contact situation, that they're wanting to breathe life back into this circumstance, that they still think about you, they still hold love for you. The distance or whatever has happened in this situation, it has changed this person fundamentally within, and they're kind of at this point of getting ready to kind of come out of some sort of cocoon towards you, emerge from that personal underworld, or sort of the distance, or just this wall of silence, and kind of break through with some kind of peace offering or gift, some energy of sweetness to kind of counteract a lot of that guardedness from before, or anything where they were very resistant to the connection up to this point in time. So a lot of feelings where you sustain them, this connection, the experiences they have with you. It's something that they look forward to. They feel very fulfilled by the time that the two of you spend with one another, this deep sense of intimacy, and there's the sense of wanting to build more upon that, wanting to really kind of continue to feed into this energy of home that is experienced with you, and to really invite you more deeply into their heart, or to show you this safety within. They want to be this safe space for you, that you've been this for them, perhaps in different ways, or in a lot of ways, or without even knowing you've been that, and they are wanting to really reciprocate that for you, to provide you with some sort of evidence or demonstration that it's safe to catch feelings in this situation. It's safe to open up your heart. It's safe to express these feelings and this love, that they are wanting to participate in kind of the growth and the evolution of this situation. So I'm going to get some messages from their higher self and see, what does this person want to tell you right now? Okay, and they say, I've been hurting without you. You have no idea. So behind any kind of shell or guardedness, there's a deep sense of yearning for you, for your light, for your energy, for your presence. There's an urge to bring you more deeply into their world and into their reality. They hate the time when you are apart. It doesn't feel good. It feels very cold and very lonely. There's a sense of the companion they want by their side is you. There's this energy of wishing that they could come home to you at the end of the night, or return back to you, return to the home that the two of you had once created with one another. If this is a situation where there's a separation or a no contact, they've been missing you. They've been sort of suffering in silence here, and it's something where they're kind of nearing that brink of getting ready to kind of open up and to present something to you, so that hopefully you can kind of repair the situation, or you can draw more near to each other than you are up to this point in time. They also say, some people don't want to see us together, but I don't care. So this is definitely talking about a lot of loyalty that they have towards you, no matter who has opinions about the situation, who has meddled, who has tried to be a wedge in this circumstance. It's all they see is you. They only have eyes for you. They're working up the courage to fight for this connection, fight through these obstacles within themselves, or external things that may really stand in the way. Maybe even just kind of this energy of doubt within themselves. If this is a no contact situation, about, would this person take me back? Is it too little, too late? It's worth the risk to at least be able to show you or present you some sort of change in their vibration from what you were dealing with before. There's an urge to let you in, or to create space for you, within their heart, or a sense of hoping that you will welcome them more deeply into your life and your heart, despite all of the kind of outside circumstances, the obstacles, the conditions and the details of how that needs to play out, or kind of longer roads, or the energy here even with the Seven of Pentacles, that it may take some time between kind of opening their heart, having that conversation, and really bringing that Ten of Cups down into material reality. That this might not be just you're running off into the sunset right away, but it may take some time to kind of build and grow and develop in that capacity. But they're willing to fight for this. They're willing to push through despite doubt from within, and no matter what people externally have to say, or the opinions for or against the connection. They also say, I act happy, but I'm not. So the present circumstances in the situation between the two of you, no matter what that looks like, it is not sufficing. They want more with you. They want to build. They want to grow. You are their happy place. You are their home. There's a sense of wanting to, create more of that intimacy, that kind of snuggly energy with one another, feeling very lonely when they are not with you, or at the idea of, that this connection may fade away someday, or perhaps there's even been distance between the two of you, and they've been hurting, they've been kind of suffering in silence, in their shell, very much withdrawn, and it's bringing them to the point of wanting to give, wanting to see, can we still build something, can we still grow, where do we go from here in a very positive direction. They also say, don't focus on who wants me, I want you. So this, even in conjunction with that idea of like, some people don't want to see us together, but I don't care. There may be third parties involved in this situation. That can be the energy here of that it could be a little complex, or it may take some time to kind of fully ground down into material reality, the sense of wish fulfillment, these feelings that they have for you, the spark that you've revived them, you've brought them back to life. And so there's an energy of wanting to open their heart to you, with the understanding that there may be some other loose ends that have to be tied up first before you can actually do something more in this situation in the material sense. But they can't hold back these feelings any longer. They don't want to miss an opportunity with you. They only see you as kind of the one who has given them that spark, the one who has resurrected them in the heart space, or who really represents and embodies the way love should be, what that should feel like, as a contradiction to either circumstances they are involved in right now, or their sort of history with other people in love in the past. You have kind of changed their perception in that sense. You've shown them a different face of love in a very positive way. They also say this whole twin flame stuff sometimes scares me. So they may consider you their twin flame or their soulmate, the one, someone that they could build a forever kind of partnership and life with. The intensity and nature of how you've awakened them, you've brought them back to life. This may be something that was an unusual or unexpected sensation, and they could have fought that for quite some time, but they're now in the process of kind of fighting the fear, working to that place of courage, planning and getting ready to sort of make that declaration, to come out of hiding, to express some sort of truth, come what may. It's an energy of sort of, they can't hold on to this any longer. They don't want to kind of hold back from you from this point forward. They also say telepathically communicate with me. So if you have been sensing telepathy with this person, they definitely have been sensing that with you as well. And kind of in the interim of any sort of conversation that may need to take place, or, just in kind of the buildup in this situation, or even if this is a circumstance where it may take some time to kind of move from that point of I love you to, okay, now we're linking our lives up with one another. There's a sense of they don't just want to have the limits and constraints between the two of you in the material world be kind of the totality of your interaction with one another. If they can't have you in that material physical sense with them and kind of at that happily ever after in a material sense, then they're wanting you to kind of feed with them into that current of let's manifest this, let's bring this down into material reality, let's co-create not just in a physical sense but energetically speaking. Let's tie into the full polarity of kind of this higher possibility, this higher love that is available in this situation, and use those energies, use that current as a way to kind of push through any obstacles internally or externally, so that kind of the world moves and makes a way for this love to become a potent reality in a physical sense. So I'm going to get some initials, and this can be a first, middle, or last name of you or this person, or it could spell something out, just whatever resonates for you. Okay, we've got W, D, I, P, O, F, N, L, Z, Q, G, M, S, B, J, U, Y, Y, and G. So those are your messages. I hope that they resonated with you and that you enjoyed the reading. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, or share. If you'd like a personal reading, I offer them through my Etsy shop, and there's a link in the description box of the video for that. I offer a variety of pre-recorded video readings, written readings, and channeled letters. Turnaround time on everything is 5 to 7 days from the time of purchase. I also sell handmade jewelry, dream catchers, and sun catchers if you're interested in checking any of those out as well. And I've launched a second channel here on YouTube, which is called Lady of the Dawn Tarot. There's a link in the description box as well as in the channel section of my page for that. The format over there consists of readings related to topics other than love and romance. So if you're looking for something a little different from me, that is the place to find it. I thank you for your support there, as well as for your continued support here on this channel. I hope to see you again in another reading. Please take care and be well.